Holidays involves a lot of desserts, a lot of fatty and fried foods, a lot of starchy foods as well. And in some cases, there's also binging on alcohol. What this means is that the body is getting a lot of sugar, a lot of refined starch, a lot of unhealthy oils, and also some amount of alcohol. Now, what does this do to the body? Well, the person starts feeling bloated, can have acidity or reflux. The person also may start getting constipated or may have loose motions. In addition, there may be a lot of bloating in the stomach as well. So what does this mean? It means that the liver has had enough of all the junk food that we've been putting into it, and it's time to recharge our liver. The best way to do this is by doing a detox. Now remember that the liver has a big role to play in order to remove all the toxins or unnecessary chemicals from our body. So once again, on the Wellberry, we have Alex Ginsburg, a functional nutritionist from Switzerland. And here are her tips on how we can detox so that we can recharge our liver and start becoming healthy again. Alex, we'd like to hear from you what your top tips are in order to detox and recharge the liver, especially post the holidays.
Hello, Nimi. Nice to be back and talk about detoxification. So the first thing I want to say is that detoxification is a normal metabolic process that the body does. We have 4 organs that detoxify: the skin, our biggest one, the lungs, the kidneys, and the liver. Today we're concentrating on helping the liver detoxify. As I said, it does it on a regular basis, so it is important to, in certain periods of the year, to help it. I like January because it's just after a very big festive period of Christmas and New Year's, where we tend to eat and have big meals with friends and family and eat heavier foods and drink and celebrate with alcohol. So I think January is the perfect moment to slow down and help the liver. So the liver can be helped in the 2 ways. First of all, reduce the burden on it, and secondly, incorporate in the diet foods that will help the detoxification process. So first of all, consider diminishing the chemical burden. Check what you're using at home to clean the house. It's packed with chemicals. Maybe you can switch to sodium bicarbonate or vinegar that are more natural products and that clean just as well. Consider checking the water that you drink, or maybe buying a filter to the water so that you are drinking water that is clean. Consider maybe decreasing the amount of makeup or changing to natural makeup, and reducing the number of dyes, and also exist a few natural dyes, so maybe switch to that if you want to dye your hair. So this is really decreasing the number of things that burden the liver. Another one would be medications. If you're used to taking Tylenol before a small headache or a small pain, maybe cut down on that too, because the liver also detoxifies the body from the drugs that we take. Now, considering the diet and helping the liver, that's the second part of my program, it would be supporting the liver with foods that help him. So first of all, intermittent fasting. Interrupt for 12 to 14 hours eating. So the last meal, if you take the last meal around 7, 8 in the morning, consider 12, 14 hours before you start eating your breakfast. That gives a really nice interruption to the body and to the liver that can have time to process and detoxify from drugs, hormones, alcohol, and other things, because it does not have to detoxify from the food that you've eaten. So just consider doing a break between the last meal and breakfast so that the liver has time and more energy and can concentrate on detoxifying other things. Secondly is sleep, extremely important, because the liver detoxifies between 11 and 3 in the morning. So try to be in bed and asleep so that the liver can detoxify. Obviously, cut down totally on alcohol. And insert in your diet foods that help detoxification. So first of all, drinking more water, adding cruciferous to your diet, adding leafy greens to your diet, adding lemon, a great fruit, so the lemon juice or the zest also. Consider raping the skin of the organic lemon and adding it to smoothing and juices. Also switch to only organic food, because that is more pesticide and chemical free, of course. So that will be really, really helpful for your liver. What else? Yes, you can add beets also to your diet that are really good. Artichoke, excellent for your diet, and onion and garlic. So just be very generous on that. Herbs are also very important. So rosemary, parsley, basil, cinnamon, curcumin. Be generous. They're anti-inflammatory. They help detoxification from the liver. So they're really, really good. The king of all is probably the black radish. So that is really, really good. You can prepare it in many different ways. So that is really, really a very nice ally for your liver. What else? Yeah, I think these are the main things that you should really try and consider adding to your diet. So switching more to a whole plant-based diet. On other things that really should be present constantly in your diet, decrease the number of saturated fats and switch to unsaturated fats. So decrease butter and creams and dairy and switch to olive oil and sesame oil and walnut oil, and they're really, really healthy and much better than saturated fats. Another thing would be decreasing the number of times that you eat meat in a month and really cutting down on red meat. Incorporating omega-3 rich foods, so consider fatty fish, consider maybe complementing if you can't have a fatty fish like herring and sardines and things like that. Anchovies, if you don't like them, maybe you want to complement. Colors, add lots of colors to your diet, so consider berries and polyphenol rich foods like peppers and tomatoes and artichokes. They really try and have the rainbow in your plate. Finally, a last thing would be obviously trying to consider managing stress, because stress does not help sleep, which you need to detoxify.
Thank you, Alex, for all the insight that you've given us. And I hope that these tips will help our viewers as well. If you find this video helpful, do go ahead and click on that like button and also share the video with somebody that you care about. Here's Dr. Nirmala signing out, and remember that wellness begins with your plate.